Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are fine and stay at home. So, students, today we are going to start with the next chapter of a civics, chapter 4, Key Elements of Democratic Government. So, students, in in this chapter, we will learn about the key elements. What are the essential features of a democratic government? Okay, and you can also read about anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa, and you will also read about the features of a Constitution of India. So, students, let us continue. Before understanding these elements, one should know the story of a country. Before 1994, a country South Africa. Okay, we can take an example to understand that. South Africa is a country where the people of different places lived, right? So South Africa became democratic when Nelson Mandela, 1994. Okay, they faced a they started an anti-apartheid struggle, right? So what happened before 1994? Country rife with conflicts and discrimination. Why? Because the country was inhabited by various races, like white-skinned people also settled there, right? And the native black skin population is also there, and the Asians like Indian and Pakistanis also who came there as laborers. So at that time, South Africa was governed by apartheid laws. So apartheid means the separateness. In the Afrikaans language, if we talk about what is the apartheid laws, the apartheid means separateness. Okay, so apartheid is a law in South Africa. There was a separation based on race. People were divided into white, black, Indian, and colored races. According to these laws, these races are not allowed to vote, have separate business, trains, hospital, ambulance. For example, Hector Peterson lived in southwestern township. He and his friend joined the protest against the learning Afrikaans language spoken by whites in school. They want to learn Zulu. Zulu is what is the Zulu? Zulu is the local language of South Africa people. South Africa police beat a protester mercilessly and shot at the crowd. One of the bullets killed Hector on 16th June 1976, right? Nelson Mandela fought against the apartheid system for several years. So, who fought for the apartheid system? Nelson Mandela. In 1994, South Africa became a democratic country in which people of all religious races were considered equal. So, in 1994, the South Africa become a democratic country. Okay, now people of different races now were considered equal. Okay, so now we will read about elements of a democratic government. What are the main elements of democratic government? So first is participation. How people participate? So by voting, people elect a leader to represent them. These representatives take decision on behalf of the people. All government are elected for a fixed period in India. Okay, if we talk about in India, this period is for 5 years. The tenure of a government is 5 years. If people don't like the working of any government, any representative, then he can or she can choose another leader after 5 years. Okay, so how people participate by voting. Okay, and what are the other ways of participating in a democracy? The other ways of participating in a democracy are people participating by taking an interest in the working of government and by criticizing it when required. Okay, they can criticize by rallies, dharnas, strikes, signatures, campaigns, etc. Okay, with the help of newspaper, magazine, TV, they can also participate in democratic government, right? So newspaper, magazine, and TV also play a role in discussing government issues and responsibilities. So now need to resolve conflict. The next topic is need to resolve conflict. In In the first two chapters, you have already read that India is a land of diversity. Okay, where people of varied religions, beliefs, culture, and economic backgrounds live together. You have also read that this can lead to prejudice and discrimination among people. Discrimination may result in violent conflicts among different groups of people. You read how racial discrimination result in violence in South Africa. So why conflict occurs? Conflicts occur when people of different cultures, religions, regions, or economic background do not get along with each other. Okay, so the what happened with the conflicts? It leads to the violence. Now, it's the responsibility of a government for helping to resolve the conflicts by maintaining law and order. So, how we will resolve l- conflicts? So that conflict is resolved by the government by making rules and regulations. Okay, so Indian constitution has laid down the basic rules that to be followed by all people as well as government. Conflicts and differences are to be resolved by the following these rules. Like in India, we witness conflict at various levels. For example, it is possible that religious processions or celebration of one community may not be welcomed by people of other community. To avoid a conflict, the government suggests that the representative of the concerned communities sit together and come to a solution that is acceptable to all. So the government also make arrangement for the police to control the crowd in case of violent outbreaks during such festivals. Okay, we can take an example of water dispute also. So there is a major river water issue also in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So what happened now? Sometimes it will become like river water also become a source of conflict between the people. Maybe the river may flow through more than one state. Okay, so division of the river water between states become the major issue of conflict. An example of such conflict is famous Kaveri River water dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Both the states have built dams on the river for irrigation in a number of districts. They also use the water for river to meet the drinking water needs of the people. The downstream dam of Tamil Nadu can be filled with water only when water is released from upstream one in Karnataka. The quantity of water to be received by each state was disputed. The conflict went on for years, finally, with the intervention of the central government. A conflict is resolved, a fair distribution between the state has been arrived at. Okay, so government is responsible for helping to resolve conflicts by maintaining law and order. Now let us talk about equality and justice. One of the key element or key idea of democratic government is its commitment to equality and justice. Okay, so if people are treated equally in a democracy, then they can seek justice from the government. So Constitution of India also made so many provisions to provide equality and justice to all. Like they have provide prohibition of the practicing of untouchability, a social evil. So what happened before the prohibition of a practice? Certain groups of people were treated as untouchables. Okay, that was happen earlier before the provision of equality, that untouchability. So if they are not allowed to mix up with the other section of the society, they cannot go to temples to offer prayers, they could not drink same water from the same well, and they could not get an opportunity to receive education. So in that case, people like Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, they came up, they fought for the equal rights of the untouchables, and as a result our government enforced Untouchable Offence Act 1955 to prohibit the practice of untouchability and made it punishable offence. Women's, if you talk about, were also denied equal rights as men. But again, our constitution made a provision to ensure the equality for them. They were now given the equal rights to what, and special arrangement has been made to help them participate in the governance of the country. So, the government is making sincere efforts to bring equality to all sections of the society. Okay, so government also recognize this and now makes special provision for groups within the society that are unequal. For example, they have made uh, like they have made Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao. Means they are giving equal rights to the girls, right? Keep save the girl child and educate the girl child. Okay, so student, this is your chapter. Now you will read it, understand it. What are the basic key elements of a democratic government? Okay, I hope you have understood. Thank you and have a nice day.